What's good, guys? Today I'll be going over my sensitivity settings and the info about some of the settings on PUBG Xbox. We're going to start off with Dead Zone. Dead Zone is basically the settings to control how responsive your analog sticks are when you move them. 0 being very sensitive and very responsive, so even the slightest touch on the analog stick with a 0 dead zone will move. The higher number dead zone, the more pressure you have to put on your analog sticks to get them going. So in my opinion, I recommend you put it at 100, test it out, see how it feels, then put it at 0, test it out, see how it feels, finally put it where you feel is most comfortable for you and you'll be good to go. I found a nice spot with the right thumbstick at 20 and the left thumbstick at 10 because I feel like getting the perfect aim takes the slightest movements when your enemy is in sight. Next up is movement sensitivity. This is dedicated to your character moving around, so when you're creeping up on enemies, running towards a circle, or running around looting. This is all connected to movement sensitivity. The lower the number here, the more pressure you have to put on the left thumbstick to get your character going to top speed. The higher the number, the less pressure you'd have to put on your thumbstick to get your character moving. I like to leave mine right in the middle at 50, because most of the time I'm either auto running in a certain direction or just pushing people and being aggressive, so I'm not much into moving sneaky and slow like. Up next is vertical sensitivity multiplier. This option just matches your up and down sensitivity with your left and right sensitivity. So basically vertical and horizontal sensitivity will match if you have this at 100%. If you have this option at 50, then your vertical sensitivity will be slower than your horizontal. And if you have this at 150%, then your vertical sense will be much faster than your horizontal sensitivity. I like to have mine exactly at 100 because I like everything to be the same left and right and up and down. General sensitivity. This goes for just looking around without being scoped in. So when you're looting, running from house to house, entering doorways, looking inside the doors. The lower the number here, the slower you're looking around will be. And the higher the number, the quicker you look around. I have mine at 10 so I can look around in the rooms quicker and the houses quicker to be looting much faster. Vehicle driver sensitivity is basically, this sensitivity is basically stating what it is. The sensitivity of you looking around while driving. I like to have mine at 10 because I like looking around for enemies while I drive, but you need to do it quick so you don't run into any rocks or trees. Aim acceleration. This one is tricky because it can be mistaken with dead zone. When you have aim acceleration off and you're aiming down your sights and holding your thumbstick in a certain direction, then your aim will never increase in speed. If this option is on and at a low number and you're holding your thumbstick in a certain direction, then your aim will slowly accelerate over time. If this is on and at a higher number and you're holding your thumbstick in a certain direction, your aim will accelerate quicker over time. So test it out, get the feel of it, see what I'm talking about. I like to keep mine a little quicker because I like to, go from target to target, especially in a squads game. Up next is over the shoulder aiming. This is just aiming over the shoulder or aiming in third person. I have mine on 4 to match with my 1x optics, but I rarely use this option ever since I changed my controller settings to Type B. Type B brings back the first person shooter in me, holding down that left trigger and letting loose on your opponent. 1x optics. These are the iron sights, red dot, and hollow sights, which I have at a 4. A very nice and controllable setting at 4 because you can slightly work with the recoil when shooting. And remember guys, for the red dots, don't forget you could change that reticle by zooming in and clicking up and down on the D-pads. 2x and 3x are at a 4 for me. The 2x and 3x scopes I'm not really a big fan of. I'm not too much into the mid-range scopes. I'd rather use a red dot if anything for close and medium range combat. But if I do use these, I like to have them at the same exact sensitivity so I know I could control them both at the same range. 4x, 6x, and 8x are all at a 3 for me. The farther an opponent is, the harder it is for me to hit them. So I like to keep these low and controlled so I can be more precise at hitting my target. I'm a big fan of the 6x scope now. It's probably my favorite scope. It's the perfect scope for these big maps. Finally, the 15x scope. This one is still bugged, so you can't change the sensitivity for this option. It's still very slow no matter what you have it on. Well guys, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope I helped you understand a little bit more about the sensitivity settings on PUBG Xbox. And until next time, y'all, peace.
Let's go, bro.
Yeah, buddy.
What's good?
M249.
M249. So nice not having to reload.